So Donald Trump was impeached twice. He was caught covering up his cheating ways by paying off a porn star. He was credibly convicted of sexually assaulting a woman. He's been indicted and arrested 4 times and much more. But he would like you to believe that the United States was much more respected on the world stage when he was president, which is obviously bullshit. All you have to do is take a look at a poll that shows the United States is far more respected now that Joe Biden is in office. But if you're too fucking lazy to look at a poll, then maybe this will be a little less work for you. Here's what one of the United States' greatest allies has to say about the man. And spoiler alert, if it needed one, they're not talking about how much the man is respected.
So Donald Trump, just off the top of my head, right, is a convicted sex offender. He has been heard boasting on tape about official secrets that he stole from the White House. He has been heard on tape trying to steal the last election by pressuring politicians and officials in Georgia to find him votes that hadn't been cast. The evidence is absolutely irrefutable. The vagaries of the law and court cases and the American legal system. But it is truly breathtaking. And yet here we are. It's quite incredible. So this mugshot appears overnight, and immediately Donald Trump is selling T-shirts with it on. And it's the point about the evidence, isn't it? And listen, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, Hunter Biden's laptop or something like that, because the idea of any equivalence or balance or yeah, but in this kind of scenario is absolutely crackers. I mean, truly, truly crackers. And yet here we are again with him way ahead in the polls and conscious of the fact that his best chance of avoiding jail is probably becoming president so that he can pardon himself, although that applies only to federal crimes. And I think the crimes in Georgia that he's accused of would not be subject to a presidential pardon. There was once a fella, I think in the 30s, who campaigned to be president of the United States from a jail cell. And I mean, how far back do you have to go for an absolute cold shower of normality? It's only Barack Obama. That's it. You just go back to that. Now, he wasn't the Messiah, but neither was he a very naughty boy. That was it, you know. It was normal. What was that, 2015? 2016? Just whether you like progressive politics or not, whether you're a bit racist or not, it was still just normal. And now here we are, looking at a president who's been indicted 4 times. Oh, we haven't even mentioned paying off a pornographic actress, an offence for which his own lawyer has already gone to jail. I mean, it is absolutely bonkers. Thankfully, since his coup attempt failed, and even, yesterday giving an interview so Tucker Carlson, this bloke who used to be on Fox News, when the Dominion case went to court, I don't know if you know this, they got hold of all the emails that were being exchanged within Rupert Murdoch's empire at the time of the coup attempt and shortly after, in the run-up to it. And Tucker Carlson is writing at length about how much he hates Donald Trump and how disgusting he is and how relieved he is that he's finally going to be gone. And yet so corrupt is this ecosystem that they're now of use to each other again. So, straight to the front of the queue. But, I mean, truly, truly bizarre. You almost can't talk about it because you begin to think that you're the one that's gone mad. Well, I can't be saying accurate. I can't be describing reality, can I? This can't actually be happening. And then, as I just said a moment ago, you see it's everywhere. So we've got all the live news channels on, and for some reason they've all just put up the mugshot. It just sort of flashed up in front. Oh, thank goodness for that. That was quite spooky. That was like a sort of Doctor Who moment where sort of the walls start closing in and it's this big orange face closing in like the rubbish dump in the first Star Wars film. The walls are, save me. And I suddenly thought back. I think it was January 2016, wasn't it? It was January 2016. And it was described at the time as a joke, but for some reason it resonated beyond the usual bilge that he was burbling about, didn't it? You'd seen the nastiness by then. You'd seen the absolute depravity, the complete absence of anything that remotely resembled morality or a compass. But you probably hadn't fully appreciated the contagion. You hadn't appreciated the contagion and his understanding of the worst of the worst. It's such a bleak worldview To think that you can do disgusting things and still be cheered to the rafters. It's such a, I think if I had to determine or describe what is most disgusting about Trump and, of course, to a lesser extent, Johnson, it's their knowledge that they can do disgusting things and retain the affection of lots of people. Personality cults, corruption on an epic scale, all stemming from one depraved individual. A system cannot cope with somebody so utterly devoid of morality, so utterly devoid of ethics. Not just devoid, because that speaks of a vacuum or an emptiness. What's the opposite? Well, I suppose depravity is the word that I keep using, because it seems to me to be the antonym of morality. And it's their knowledge that they could do it. That's the thing that I find most amazing and most dispiriting, because it changes the way that decent people or half-decent people or ordinary people, it changes the way that we look at the world. You know, you know, obviously, that we've had Hitlers and we've had Stalins, and they can retain the support and the popularity of a population. But you always think of it as in the history books, or well, it can only happen if you're like Kim Jong-un and you've managed to completely deprive the population of information. You've managed to completely control the flow of truth. But then you look at it in your own country. If Boris Johnson launched a coup attempt, do you think that Nadine Dorries and Jacob Rees-Mogg would be alongside him or standing up for democracy, society, and decency? I'll leave that question hanging. But you sort of realise how fragile stability is. It's so fragile that one depraved human can come along with contempt for what binds society together, with absolute contempt for what pass for values, and he can threaten the stability of an entire society.